Thank you, House Chair. It is my maiden speech, so no interruptions. So for those of you who don't know, the 26th of July movement is celebrating 11 years of the struggle for economic freedom in our lifetime. And this year we're hosting our celebrations in Kimberley, the Northern Cape, on Saturday, the 27th of July. So we are inviting all progressive, the word is progressive, forces who have not abandoned the struggle for the return of the land without compensation. The EFF is here today, despite what doomsayers have said, that we won't survive. And we have survived this long because we did not get here because we were easily intimidated by the establishment's propaganda machine. So we salute our leadership and we salute our ground forces for keeping it together. Now let's deal with white privilege. That white privilege that the DA ministers are convinced that their skin color qualifies them to lead complex departments, such as the Department of Public Works, a department that is responsible for providing accommodation that needs all organs of state, to provide accommodation needs to all organs of state, and building and maintenance of a sizable portfolio of properties. It is only an unapologetic white privilege that can flaunt itself as capable, even in the absence of decent education, and unashamedly lead a highly educated deputy minister. And it is only a House Negro political party that allows such white supremacy to flourish here in our country. However, that is not our immediate concern, because we know that over time this mediocrity of white privilege in the absence of tested education will be exposed. Let's deal with some substantive policy and service delivery issues. Now, the property market is central to how economies function, how jobs are created, and how we produce and industrialize a nation. For the past 30 years, the reality is that the Department of Public Works has been reduced to an administration office for lease agreements and selling government properties and land in corrupt dealings. We have officials who are employed full-time and they are preoccupied with lease agreements. They are abandoning state-owned properties in central business districts for inflated leases in developed office spaces. And when we see the building of public infrastructure, the tender process, it is corrupt, prices are inflated, and after the property is actually handed over to the state, the workmanship is terrible. We have too many white elephants, and we're talking about white elephants now, that are hospitals and schools that are built and they are never used. As the economic freedom fighters, we maintain that construction of public infrastructure is the most strategic for economic growth, for job creation, and also for providing a sustainable solution for providing accommodation to all organs of state. And for us to achieve this, we must establish a state-owned construction company, which we've been saying this since we entered Parliament in 2014. And unlike the current configuration of public works, we must create a construction company that actually does the building. It is a company that hires engineers, it hires architects and artisans and professionals that are required to build a state-owned construction company with internal capacity. And with such capacity, we can extend the function and the scope of such a state-owned construction company to build roads and to build houses and to eradicate the backlog. There is a massive backlog of housing, particularly for where African people reside. And we can even extend this scope and function of such a company to public maintenance. As you can see, our hospitals are falling apart, our schools are falling apart because we have to issue tenders just to clean a toilet or to fix a toilet. This is the only way we are able to turn this Department of Public Works into something meaningful. It is the only way that we will be able to deal with the criminality of that construction mafia. And it is the only way that we will be able to build state capacity. And we can use this framework to develop a long-term funding framework and do away with situations where there is no allocation for maintenance and existing buildings are dilapidated. And we are confident that if we can create, and we're confident as the EFF because we do our work, we are they're educated, we don't have white skin privilege. We are confident that we could create more than 4 million jobs by eradicating just the infrastructure backlog that we have here in South Africa. So lastly, House Chair, you're going to give me more time because it's my maiden speech. No. Thought I'll try my luck. So lastly, House Chair and honourable members, public infrastructure must not be limited to the accommodation for organs of state, but it must be extended to a state-owned railway network construction company and a state-owned cement company. So the EFF, of course, we reject the racist, white supremacist budget vote of the ANC-DA coalition.